Clearing acne can be so confusing. We think that because it's on our skin, that using expensive skincare products, dermatologist-approved brands, regular facials, harsh topical products, or even rubbing coconut oil over our skin is the only way that we'll get clear, glowing, healthy skin. And even though using the right skincare for your skin is really, really important, our skin is actually a direct reflection of what can be happening inside the body. So before you place your next Look Fantastic order for skincare products that you don't actually need, then make sure that you watch this video, because I'm breaking down my top 10 clear skin foods so that you can start eating your skincare and getting clear skin from the inside out. Hi, I'm Melissa, acne-focused nutritionist, naturopath, and mindset coach. And after using Accutane twice, which didn't clear my skin, I was finally able to clear my acne naturally by addressing the root causes. I've now helped over 50 women regain confidence in their skin by addressing their root causes. I have so many foods that I love for healthy skin, and narrowing it down to 10 was actually quite hard. So you can definitely expect a part 2 from this video. Before we dive in, I do want to touch on a process that I use with my clients, which I refer to as the 4R82 method. Essentially, when most people think about changing their nutrition to really help clear their skin, they're focusing on the foods that they need to remove, which ends in them feeling quite restricted in the process. And so many women will tell me that they actually have no idea what they should be eating, if what they're eating is helping their skin or actually making it worse. But my approach actually starts with replenishing the body with the foods that it needs before we move into actually removing so many different things. So the 4R method is broken down like this. The first R being replenish. Next we replace, then we reduce, and then finally we remove. With replenishing, we're essentially giving the body back the lost nutrients that it is missing. We're no longer under eating, we're balancing our minerals, and we're eating balanced healthy meals every single day. With replacing, we're replacing foods that we feel neutral about, which may be driving inflammation or making our skin worse. This could be cow's milk to a high quality almond milk, or white bread to a sourdough. When we're focused on reducing, this is going to be that 20%. So we're reducing some of our favorite foods, which may be driving the inflammation and not necessarily contributing to our skin being the healthiest and glowing that it can be, but that we don't want to remove completely because they do actually bring us a little bit of joy. So this is going to be the foods like the birthday cakes, the chocolates, and then for some people it will be fizzy drinks as well. So as you can see, you've not removed these completely, but we are going to reduce them so that you are giving your body the foods that it actually needs instead of just consuming lots of foods which are void of nutrient value, essentially. And then when we remove, we're actually removing allergens, which our body isn't responding to. If you have an autoimmune condition, then we would look to remove foods that are driving the autoimmune condition. For example, celiac, you obviously cannot then eat gluten. We also consider intolerances and also things like fast food, junk foods like McDonald's. I know that a lot of people enjoy having this now and again, but having this in your 20%, eating this even weekly, is going to be driving inflammation, and it's not going to be something that I would suggest. Once in a while is different than having it in weekly. But today in this video, we're going to be focusing on the replenishing aspect, replenishing the body with these top 10 clear skin foods. So let's eat our skincare, and the first one is going to be blueberries. Are packed with antioxidants, especially vitamin C, which help to combat free radicals and also reduce inflammation in the body. A free radical is an atom, an ion, or a molecule that has at least one paired electron. What that free radical is going to be doing is searching out other compounds where it can actually steal that electron from, so that it then has its own pair and becomes more stable. What antioxidants do is they reduce the free radicals by actually donating an electron to the unstable free radical molecule, therefore neutralizing it and preventing it from causing further cellular or molecular damage. These tiny berries also contain vitamin A, which supports skin cell turnover and regeneration, helping your skin be healthy and vibrant. Blueberries to my breakfast every single morning, one of my non-negotiable foods. The next food is going to be beetroot. Beetroots are packed with vitamins and minerals, including vitamin C, folate, and potassium. Its high antioxidant content helps to protect the body from oxidative stress and inflammation. It also contains natural nitrates, which is going to help to improve blood flow. Nitrates help to open up the blood vessels, meaning that the blood flow can move more easily, and it can actually help to deliver those essential nutrients to your skin. I love adding raw beetroot into fresh vegetable juices, or you can even add cooked beetroot into salads and onto the side of dishes as some extra vegetables. You can also roast beetroot and have that alongside your roast dinner. There's so many different things that we can do with beetroot, but I find that this is a commonly overlooked vegetable that has so many different nutrients. The third thing is wild caught salmon. Salmon is an excellent source of omega-3 fatty acids, which are essential for maintaining healthy skin. Omega-3s are going to be really helpful for reducing inflammation, so they're so good for actually fighting against acne. For clear skin, what we want to be thinking about is the omega-3 to the omega-6 ratio. For clear skin, the ideal ratio is going to be a 4:1 of omega-6 to omega-3, or even lower on the omega-6 side. But in most diets, especially in Western diet, this ratio is very imbalanced, and it can go between 10:1 omega-6 to omega-3, even up to 24:1 omega-6 to omega-3. This is just promoting more and more inflammation. And as we know, acne is an inflammatory condition, so this level of inflammation is going to be making acne worse. So we'll be focusing on actually correcting this ratio and really reducing our omega-6s from the heavily processed food, vegetable oils, corn, processed soy products, and increasing our omega-3. Because if you were to type into Google right now foods that are high in omega-6, what you'll notice is a lot of whole foods do actually contain an omega-6 content. And omega-6s aren't inherently bad, but what we want to do is make sure that we're reducing those processed inflammatory foods such as the ones I've just mentioned. Then we can still get the omega-6 that we need from the whole foods that we're eating in our diet, but actually making sure that we have a well-balanced ratio so that we're getting in those omega-3s. Because so many women with acne that I work with, they don't really eat a lot of oily fish, and they're also not taking any sort of omega-3 supplementation. This is especially something to consider as well if you are on more of a vegan diet or vegetarian diet. Number 4 is boiled white potato. There's a lot of misconception around potatoes, because when we think about potatoes, we think about chips, fries, heavily fried. The potatoes themselves aren't inherently bad for us. They contain so many different nutrients, and they're an incredible prebiotic. How we prepare the potatoes is going to be really important to how that actually responds within the body. White potatoes are a great source of vitamin C, potassium, B vitamin, all of which are essential for skin health. And when we actually boil them, it just makes them easier for the body to digest. Not only that, but boiling the potatoes and allowing them to cool makes them a great source of prebiotics, which actually feed the beneficial bacteria in your... And as we know, a healthy gut means happy skin through the gut skin. And eating these boiled white potatoes is actually increasing short chain fatty acids, which are really protecting the microbiome, but also supports a healthy gut barrier. I like having potatoes at least 3 times per week, and making sure that I keep the skin on. And just to quickly touch on a comment I get around white potatoes actually driving blood sugar imbalances. Now, when we think about blood sugar, we also want to be thinking about stress as well as sleep, and different components are actually going to be drivers of blood sugar imbalances. But if you're eating your potatoes boiled, letting them cool down, then that's going to help to support the way that the body is responding from a blood sugar perspective. If you are adding in some extra virgin olive oil, eating it with the skin on, having it with sources of protein and your vegetables, that's a very well balanced meal. So you shouldn't have any issues in terms of blood sugar. And if you are noticing that there are blood sugar issues from having white potatoes, then we want to be thinking about how your cells are actually responding to insulin. It's not necessarily the problem with the food itself, it can just be how your body is responding to it. Number 5 is spinach. Spinach is loaded with vitamins and minerals like vitamin C, vitamin A, and it's also a source of plant-based iron, which again are all essential for skin health. If this is another vegetable high in antioxidants, which is again going to protect your cells from that free radical damage, reducing oxidative stress and reducing inflammation. And spinach is a really easy one to get into your day-to-day nutrition, because you can chop it quite small and add it into curries, chilies, stews. You can add it into your smoothies if you're having smoothies. You can add it into salads if that's what you're eating. You can literally add it into so many different meals. If you're cooking eggs or an omelette, you can literally add it in there and let it wilt. So spinach is one of the easiest things that you can get into your diet to really increase your antioxidants and also your green leafy vegetables. And because this is a plant-based source of iron, if you're having it with a source of vitamin C like peppers, a squeeze of lemon, or even tomatoes, and that's going to help you actually absorb and utilize the iron content inside that food. And the next one, number 6, is lemon. I have about 1 to 2 lemons every single day. Usually I have these lemons in water with electrolytes, but if you are doing that, you want to be careful because you always want to protect your teeth. So drinking it through a straw, and I would suggest actually drinking the lemon in less water and having it in one go, as opposed to drinking water with lemon consistently throughout the day. Even if you're drinking it through a straw, the reason for that is literally to protect your teeth. Lemons are rich in vitamin C, and this is something that can actually help boost collagen, which is going to be supportive for the skin. And vitamin C itself is an antioxidant, which is then going to protect against any free radical damage and also oxidative stress. It's also great for gently detoxifying the body if you're drinking it first thing in the morning. And because it is more of a bitter fruit, then actually drinking it can help to support your body to actually produce some stomach acid and digestive enzymes before meals. This is one of my non-negotiable fruits, and I always have so many in the fridge because I have so many. Number 7 is sweet potato. potato. And again, this is another complex carbohydrate which I love to have with the skin on, and my preference is going to be to have it boiled, because what's interesting about sweet potato is when we boil sweet potato, it has more of a lower glycemic index, but if we bake sweet potato, that does actually increase the glycemic index of that. Not that it's a terrible thing to have your sweet potato baked, I actually prefer it boiled from a taste preference. And sweet potatoes are actually high in carotene, which is a plant-based source of vitamin A, which is going to be supportive for skin cell turnover. Carotene can also protect the skin from UV damage, so having sweet potatoes regularly can help just to maintain that beta carotene intake. And like I said before, I like to have this with the skin on because that's going to be adding extra fiber into the diet, and fiber is so important for clear skin because what it's doing is it's going to help regulate your digestion, and when we are able to actually eliminate that waste, then that waste is less likely to show through the skin, and having healthy bowel movements every single day is going to be essential for healthy and glowing skin. Number 8 is raw garlic. I know there's a lot of speak and even trends across social media accounts of taking or eating a clove of raw garlic every day to help to clear acne, and I wouldn't necessarily rely on a clove of raw garlic every single day as a way to clear acne directly, because acne is going to be something which is more complex and there's going to be lots of different factors driving it. However, raw garlic itself has so many benefits for the body in general that it is absolutely worth having in your diet on a day-to-day basis. But that's not me saying that you have to just eat a raw clove on its own and just struggle to get that down, when you can be adding it into your cooking, your meals, your salad dressings. There's so many ways that you can actually get garlic into your diet without having to just swallow a clove of it whole. Raw garlic itself is so potent and anti-inflammatory. It also has antimicrobial benefits. But what you need to know about raw garlic is you always want to crush it first, and you want to leave it to stand for about 10 to 15 minutes, because what that's going to do is it's going to allow the allicin compounds to start to increase, and then it's going to just have so many more benefits. And what you can do is you can mix that with some lemon and some extra virgin olive oil into a nice dressing and add that on top of your meals, because that way you're going to be able to get that garlic in raw. But of course you can have it cooked if you are adding it in with your onions when you're cooking your meals. Number 9 is red cabbage. And I would say this is also one of the most overlooked vegetables, but it is so great for the skin and your health in general. Red cabbage is rich in antioxidants, again, things like vitamin C and cyanins, if I've said that correctly, which again is going to help to protect the skin from oxidative stress and inflammation. It's another vegetable with quite high fiber content, which is going to be great for your digestion and maintaining your elimination of waste. And it's actually part of the cruciferous vegetable family, meaning that it has a higher sulfur content, meaning it is rich in sulfur count. And this is something that's really important for acne, because this is going to be great for detoxification and also your gut health. Cruciferous vegetables are really important to bring down your beta-glucuronidase enzyme activity and prevent the recirculation of hormones and toxins, which can actually be a big driver for breakouts and also hormonal acne. So getting in red cabbage is going to be a fantastic one to really help to clear the skin. And finally, number 10 is extra virgin olive oil. And yes, the quality of this is going to matter. You want to have it cold pressed, organic, and in a glass brown bottle. This is rich in unsaturated fatty acids and antioxidants, which are going to help to nourish and protect the skin. Its anti-inflammatory properties are going to help to reduce inflammation in the body. And it also contains vitamin E, which can help to repair and protect the skin barrier. Adding healthy fats like extra virgin olive oil on top of your vegetables and your other foods is going to be really important to help you absorb your fat-soluble vitamins, vitamin A, vitamin E, vitamin D, and vitamin K. So if you're having sweet potato, if you're having spinach, and all of these different vegetables, make sure that you are adding some healthy fats on top of there so that your body can actually absorb these vitamins. And vitamin A is going to be very difficult for the body to actually utilize if you're not having it with a source of healthy fats. And healthy fats also help to build your hormones. So we need to have a good level of fats to actually have a good level of hormones. And this is something I see so often, is these low levels of estrogen, progesterone, and even testosterone. And what we need to do is make sure that we're giving your body the tools that it needs to be able to build those hormones effectively. So make sure that you're adding these 10 foods into your next food. So here is a recap of what to buy and how to add it into your meals this week. First is blueberries, either raw or frozen, and having at least one small handful every single day. Number 2 is beetroot, again raw or cooked, so raw in fresh vegetable juices and cooked in salads. 3 is wild-caught salmon and having this 3 times per week. Number 4 is boiled white potatoes with the skin on and having this as your complex carbohydrate at least 3 times over the next week. Number 5 is spinach, getting a bag of spinach, making sure that you wash it and having 1 to 2 handfuls at least 5 times over the next week. Number 6 is lemons and having at least 1 of these daily. Squeezing the juice and adding it into your water first thing in the morning. You can also add it on top of your vegetables for the extra vitamin C to help to absorb the plant-based iron sources. And making sure that when you're drinking your lemon water, adding in a sprinkle of sea salt to increase your sodium levels as well. And that is going to be so supportive for your adrenals if you are someone that has been highly stressed. Number 7 is sweet potatoes boiled with the skin on and have this 3 times per week as your complex carbohydrate and adding in some extra virgin olive oil on top of that so that you can absorb the vitamin A content. Number 8 is raw garlic, having at least 1 clove per day crushed and added into a dressing with lemon and extra virgin olive oil so that you can get in the extra anti-inflammatory benefits from having raw garlic. Number 9 is red cabbage, having this cooked as steam sauteed or just steamed, adding on some extra virgin olive oil to absorb all of the fat soluble nutrients and having at least 1 cup of this every single day. Number 10 is extra virgin olive oil and you can add this around 1 tablespoon to your lunches and your dinners on top of the meal afterwards so that you can get all of the benefits from doing this. Again, you can add in the lemon, you can add in the raw garlic into your extra virgin olive oil and have that as more of a dressing. If you love this video, then you are going to love my free training, How to Clear Your Acne Naturally in 6 months or less without prescriptions or extreme dietary restrictions. This isn't just another masterclass for you to sign up to and never watch. It's a complete roadmap for clearing your acne and maintaining clear skin. So scroll down to the description box below and click the first link where you'll be prompted to add your name and your email address and you'll be able to gain instant access to this masterclass. Remember, focus on replenishing your diet and your nutrition with foods that your body loves. Before getting stressed about everything that you think you should, nutrition for clear skin doesn't have to feel restrictive, but it will take some tweaks and consistency for you to see the changes that you're wanting. But clear skin is entirely possible for you. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want to learn my full 4-hour 80-20 method for using nutrition to clear your acne, then you can watch this video next where I'm breaking it down in a lot more detail. I'll see you in the next video.